Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Nexion Analytics, where we make data simple and actionable. So in our last video, we talked about tables, columns, and keys. But in this video, we're going to talk about primary and foreign keys and break it down even smaller so that we fully understand what they truly are and how powerful they are. All right, so imagine you have several tables in your databases. You have employees, you have departments, and orders. Each table works fine on its own, but without relationships, they exist in isolation. You can't tell which employee belongs to which department or who processed which order. That's where keys come in. They form the relationships that make your data relational. So let's start with the primary key. This is going to be the unique fingerprint within every single table that you have. So a primary key is a column or set of columns that uniquely identifies each record in a table. Every row must have a unique value in this column. No duplicates, no blanks. In an employees table, that's employee ID. In an orders table, that's order ID, for example. If you try to insert a duplicate value or leave it empty, the database may reject it because that could break uniqueness. Not for all cases, but for some. The purpose of a primary key, though, is to ensure data integrity, meaning every record can always be traced and referenced precisely. This doesn't mean that every database is built the same, though. You may have duplicates within your tables, and that's okay, but that's a part of a data cleanup process as well. So that's a unique ID inside of a table, but how do they connect? And what are foreign keys? So a foreign key is a column that creates a relationship between two tables. It references a primary key in another table. For example, in the employees table, there's a column called department ID. That column points to the department's table, where department ID is a primary key. This connection tells the system employee 102 belongs to department 10. The database enforces referential integrity, meaning you can't assign an employee to a department that does not exist. In Power BI, this is the same logic behind relationships, the one-to-many lines connecting tables visually in your data model. Now, let's talk about relationships, because I did mention one-to-many. So what does that really mean? So we have three types of different relationships that I want to talk about, and we'll expand upon this later as well. So the first up we have is one-to-one. So it's one record in table A, for example, that matches exactly one record in table B, meaning your employee connects to the company card. One-to-many is one record in table A links to many records in table B. For example, table A is your customer and table B is your orders. So you as a purchaser in Amazon purchased how many orders over the past year? Many-to-many is going to be many records in both tables linked together, usually managed with a bridge table. So students and courses. Keys make these relationships explicit, and your databases use them to join, filter, and aggregate data efficiently. So the video series I dropped in January explains this in action too. So we had our customers linked to our roles, our branches, and then the company as well. Because you have primary keys living within those tables independently, but then connecting them were foreign keys. So just to recap, primary keys are going to be unique to that table. Foreign keys are going to connect them to another table, and together they make a relational database. But with that said, hopefully primary keys and foreign keys now make perfect sense to you. And leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And as always, thanks for watching.